so much of what people do is through their eyes. 80% of learning, they say, is through your eyes. It's pretty easy to develop a passion for it because it just affects everybody in such a profound way, and we're the people that are helping them do it. It's easy to be satisfied, gratified, and have a passion for what you're doing when you're an optometrist. Practicing in a small town, I feel like gives you the diversity and the opportunities to practice at the highest level that is available. You got everybody in town from the oldest to the youngest, and so you're doing full scope optometry, vision therapy, low vision. I do a lot of foreign body removals and post-op and pre-op care. I mean, you're doing it all. So I went to school in Chicago at the Illinois College of Optometry. Living in Chicago was a lot of fun when you're young, but when I talked to my wife, Jody, about where we wanted to raise our family, we decided, Chicago really wasn't it. And so we decided to try out a small town. We moved from Chicago to Auburn, Nebraska, and really fell in love with the little town. I walk every day to work. I love it. I think some of my preconceived notions were as things may not be as good as I had it when I was in a big city. We didn't want to move to a small town and then find out our kids wouldn't have the same opportunities as maybe a bigger school. I realized that I like the school system better in the small town than I did in the bigger city. The kids here, they can really thrive and do well in anything they want to do.
We have one of the best school systems in the state of Nebraska and all of Midwest. We just have a real strong infrastructure of fine folks here that make for a very high quality of life.
Lifetime Vision Center is a great resource for us, but they are also a great anchor for this community.
Bob?
I've been using this optometry office for 60 years or so. I believe it was the late 1950s when Dr. Pat Crotty started this clinic.
Dr. Pat Crotty came here in 1957, and then Dr. Pat ended up having a couple sons that got into optometry, and they practiced together as Crotty and Crotty for a lot of years. And then when Dr. Pat was ready to retire, Dr. John was like, my dad has been practicing for all these years and we haven't changed a lot. And when he retires and I get a new guy in with all the new ideas that you're gonna have and then the modern education that you have, we're gonna build this into a modern, you build it, they will come kind of a practice. And so I got sold on optometry in Auburn, Nebraska by John Crotty and Pat Crotty, and here we are.
He's been here 22 years now, so I would have been about 10 years old or so when he started practicing here. I've always obviously looked up to my dad, but to have Dr. Wright to kind of mentor over me now that my dad's retired has been a blessing too. He was the one who really took off and hit the ground running with making our technology something that is an identity that we closely link with Lifetime Vision Center.
Having one of the most advanced technology type practices in the state in a little small town like us is a little bit surprising to some people, especially when they come from places that they thought, would have more advanced technology than they have, and maybe they were in a bigger city before. But when you're in a small town and you're a single entity practice, you don't have these great advantages like some of the big practices do. Vision Source system really fits into what the small town practice needs, wants, desires, and it's really great for patient care and our bottom line as well.
Dr. Wright did open my eyes to early detection of disease, and I think a lot of that came from the fact that he had so much state-of-the-art equipment. It was obvious that he was a provider that wanted to stay on top of things that really added value to his practice.
It would be impossible for us to compete with big box stores if we didn't have a little bit of that buying power that Vision Source provides. It has been an ally and an essential one in this ever-changing landscape of optometry. We want the best, and they want to be able to provide that for us.
It's nice to know that we have an established business like this where people can get the kind of services and products that they offer here, and we don't have to go to Omaha and Lincoln to do that. Just one of the elements that add to a great quality of life here in Auburn.
The community feel that you have in a small town is kind of like, embracing your extended family. We care about each other, we take care of each other, and that's one of my favorite things about living here.